Hello, YouTube. I just want to make a quick video on a budget armor stacker setup. So, as many of you probably know, I made this absolutely insane character with incredible gear, just like mirror tier stuff and all that. And a lot of people have been asking about, like, getting started on the build, making their own armor stacker, etc. So I actually decided to make myself an armor stacker, like a budget armor stacker, just one of the many builds I'm testing on a cheaper budget, and this is the character that I made. So I have actually been tracking everything I've been buying as well as purchasing. All of this is going to add up to between 7,000 to 7,500 FP. Variance is going to apply depending on when you buy and what type of deals you strike. All of this added up to 7.4k FP exactly, but there were some purchases in here that I ended up not using, but that is, that's relevant. That was just me just figuring shit out. The biggest like investment of FE is going to be your Forlorn Crystal and your Activation Medium Rhythm 0.3. These two alone is basically 70% of the budget. And beyond that, all I did is I just bought a bunch of random T1 gear. They were either semi-finished crafting or like already fully crafted for my build. I got myself a cheap on Waving Prism that happened to have Numb Effect on it, because Numb Effect is really strong for Erika. I just picked up a cheap inverse image. I just got precise thunder focus, so I have a thunder focus. I found myself a pedigree that's conductive and then additional damage while having sealed life. Like sealed mana and sealed life, which is quite convenient. That's very good for us. Bought myself just some basic corners as well as 2 force knights, because you can only have 3 corners, and these were like the next cheapest options. As well as I've just picked up some mirror mirrors that have projectile speed and armor percent or damage percent on them. So let me just show you the gear quickly. So I have just level 20 round of arrows, my 0.3 rhythm, and then electric pronouncement room projectiles. I bought myself only the tier 1 swift fly support.
Meow, meow, meow.
The prices right now are crazy. It's 300 FP for one of these. I remember when I bought my T0 like swift flight support, it was like only 400 FP. So unfortunately the prices have gone up a lot since I swapped this build. Same with Payback. I just bought a 40 FP support here. Probably I should have bought a T0 in hindsight. But at the time I was just like, just buying whatever was cheapest. But there's no reason for I don't think there's any reason to have gone that cheap. My Thunder Spike, I'm doing added cold glacial freeze. This combo is really good for generating focus blessings if you have the Slate mod, which gives you a chance to begin a focus blessing upon doing damage to a frostbitten enemy, which is just a very strong combo. So that's what I did. I am running double curse for the setup. I'm actually not 100% sure if double curse is the best. I just haven't done enough testing and stuff yet. And then a blink, because I like blinking around. Then we have Steadfast, Electric Conversion, and Thunder Focus. I do have a Swiftness, but I don't actually have enough mana to use it. I'm pretty sure with more levels in Restrain, like once all of these are 20, I will be able to fit it in. And honestly, let's quickly check that. Let's quickly check that. Because I would like to have my Swiftness enabled. There we go. We have Swiftness, we have Thunder Focus, and then we're just running Double Curse. Oh, I see a different issue has now been created. We can fix that with our talent points, though. We can just take my skill cost. Sorry about that. I had to mute the cough for a second. As for my slates, I have Armor Pen, Focus Boosting Generation, Defense from Shield, Additional Damage, Defense from Chest, Armor Pen. At this point, before you have any prices gear, the difference between a chest armor and a shield is not very, like, substantial. So either or works, but as you get to, like, precise gear, and especially once you got sequences and things in your gear, defense from shield becomes way, 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 way better to have. But yeah, I, got myself 3 corners. Then I just bought this plus from first level plus defense from shield as a substitute for, corner. And then this one I picked up because getting out nasty blessing, that's just a lot of armor. And again, chest armor versus shield is not a big difference for us right now. I was forced into marksman to get Gale because I do not have Gale on belt. On assassin, because I don't have like the option to, I don't have the one that doesn't replace your main talent. I am forced to take Unwavering Fortress and then get Conductive on my pedigree. Just a super cheap inverse image in the Brave. God of Might is just God of Might. And... blah. Oh, yes. And the other thing we did is I did go into my pack spread page, and I actually put in a bunch of crit notes to help cap my crit, because we're not quite capped crit, as well as add some crit damage notes, because I was pretty low on crit damage. I want to get more crit damage. I bought myself a bunch of Euromir, so it was like project speed, damage percent, armor percent, proj speed, armor proj speed, and then I rolled them all until it either proj speed, armor percent, or first skill crit damage, or attack crit damage. And when I was done rolling them, I didn't realize that I'm pretty low on crit damage, which is also partially why I want to get more crit damage from my Kismets. As like a cheap substitute early on. Okay, I think, realistically, what you want to do is actually, instead of this, like, armor pen plus focus passing, it might be better to try and find yourself a corner that is... sealed mana, and then the focus passing generation. Yeah, like one of these. It's a bit expensive, unfortunately, but that's beyond the point. Because this shield mana should allow us to not be able to use our skills again, which is very important. And now this setup currently is roughly around 40 billion DPS. As you can see. And we do have a 10k shield, actually, from Unwavering Fortress. And on top of having a 10k shield from Unwavering Fortress, we also have 80% first mitigation, 80% magic mitigation. So this build is actually quite tanky. We're sitting at about 500k armor right now. And, we're sitting at 500k armor. And we have about 160% movement speed, which is also honestly not the greatest, but it could be worse. I do think most likely you're better off just not running swiftness, especially without any aura effect really to scale that out. And instead just run like, armor pen for a bit more damage. At the cost of like the slight amount of movement speed.
Please select the calibration intensity for invincibility number 2.
But let me quickly go do a profound map just to showcase it. Was it Grave? No, Desolate Village is one you form. So yeah, that's about 40 billion DPS. It's not going to be the fastest profound runner at all. But like, it gets the job done for the budget. And like, realistically, like, armor sackers are just really expensive. Because you have an entry cost of needing to buy a 2.5k FE like rhythm and a fucking 2.5k FE knack, unfortunately. Like that is unfortunately just a steep entry cost. But the character actually feels surprisingly good for me. I was planning on spending more FP on it than I did in this, than I end up doing. My initial plan was to make like a 10k FP character or like a 15k FP character, but it ended up being like a lot cheaper to get up and running than expected, and like I feel like the upgrade path from here onwards is like pretty damn obvious, like what you need to do. You know, it's not like rocket science that like you should probably buy prices gear. I think realistically, if you were to just upgrade from like this shield that I have right now to a priceless shield, and if you upgrade to like a priceless weapon, you will almost instantly be at like 200, 300 billion. Like that will very easy, just like times 10 your damage. Especially because the shield like double dips a lot with all of your like armor scaling. And the weapon is just a really, really strong slot to get an upgrade on. But anyway, I think that's gonna be it from me YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will be having this build code the bot in the link of the description. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day further. And bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.